The Venu SQ, the original Venu SQ, is one of my favorite smartwatches, especially when it comes to fitness tracking. So when Garmin released the Venu SQ2, I was really excited to see what upgrades and improvements they would make upon the original. And the Venu SQ2 is a really nice smartwatch. Garmin have added a lot of updates and improvements here, but they've made one change that just takes away from the Venu SQ's best feature. Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter by reviewing the Garmin Venu SQ2. The Venu SQ line is Garmin's budget series, but that doesn't mean it's lacking features. The SQ2 has a distinctive square face, a little different than the round watch faces Garmin tends to go with, and measures 40 by 37 by 11 millimeters with a 35.9 millimeter screen, which is 8% larger than the previous version. New to this year is a metallic mint green color, along with the usual slate gray and cream gold aluminum. And with that matte aluminum finish around the edges, the square shape, the SQ2 really just looks good on the wrist, and the watch face does stand out. More screen real estate is great, the bezels are smaller on the SQ2, and I like these little notches around the edge, giving it an even more premium look. And those aren't the only improvements made to the screen of the Venu SQ2. It's got an AMOLED screen now compared to the LCD of the previous version. And it's just brighter, sharper, and really pops a lot more and just nicer to look at in general. Looking at and using this watch is a real treat. It just looks so much more sleek and is fun to glance at. Although when you're scrolling, the screen does noticeably lag, and I'm not sure if that's a software issue that can be fixed with an update or a hardware issue you're just going to have to live with. The SQ2 is 38 grams and a very comfortable fit, similar to the original SQ. And like the original SQ, the SQ2 syncs with the Garmin app on your iOS or Android device to give you a lot of data about your workouts, calorie burning, heart rate, and more. There are, though, a few enhancements on the SQ2 itself. One big one is that you can now view your sleep score directly from the watch itself. That score, from 1 to 100, gives you an indication of how well you slept, and the SQ2 also tracks time you spent in light, deep, and REM sleep. But you'll get a lot more detailed information when you sync your watch to the Garmin app, but for a quick glance to get an idea of how well you slept, it's handy to have the sleep score on the watch itself. The SQ2 also has a few extra exercises not found on the original SQ, like paddleball, but all of the common classics are here as well. Running, walking, both of which can be activated automatically through the settings after you move, say, for 10 minutes continuously, and of course other exercises like skiing, biking, and swimming. The SQ2, like the SQ original, is a fitness-focused smartwatch. You have GPS as well built into the SQ2, though there's no altimeter. It can use the GPS when you're running, for example, to track elevation. A more beefed up battery in the Garmin SQ2 also gives you about 22 hours of GPS on time, at least in my testing. That's an improvement on the original SQ, which is around 12 hours of GPS time. But outside of GPS time, the SQ2 will give you roughly 9 days of battery life, at least in my testing, compared to the 5 days or so of the original SQ, assuming in either case you're not using the always-on display. That feature knocks you down to 2 days of battery life, but the gesture to wake feature is efficient and worth using to get more days out of battery life. Charging times using the proprietary cable, which I wish were just USB-C. Anyway, the charging times are quick and you'll get a full charge in a little over 2 hours, but 20 minutes will top you off about 30%. And that's a significant battery improvement on the original SQ, which had good battery life to begin with. And there's also an improved heart rate monitor inside the Venu SQ2, which tracks your heart rate throughout the day. You've also got a lot of useful fitness features we've come to expect on Garmin watches, like checking your blood oxygen levels, real-time monitoring of your stress levels, steps, calories, and what Garmin calls your body battery. The body battery is a representation of how much energy you have and is based on your workouts, stress, respiration, and heart rate, and usually a good indicator of whether or not you should push yourself on a run or maybe take it a bit easier on your workout that day. So the Venu SQ2 is a great fitness watch, but it's also a great smartwatch too. You can get notifications from your text messages or emails or see who's calling directly on the watch itself, assuming that your phone is nearby. The Venu SQ2 will improve your workouts just because of how many metrics it gives you on the watch itself. So what's the but? I know you can see it. There's a but coming. The Venu SQ2 is a nice upgrade from the SQ. It's got a better screen and almost double the battery life and brings a few more useful features to the table. But the price has also gone up to $250, and the SQ Music, which lets you download songs from services like Spotify directly to the watch, is $50 more at $299. At $299, you're in the Venu 2 territory, and I'll link to my review of that watch down below in the description if you want to check it out. See, the Venu SQ, the original, is still on sale for $119, which is an amazing deal for a smartwatch that gives you all the features that it has. Yes, the Venu SQ2 has a better screen, better battery life, and a few more sports included in its feature set, but overall, this is a pretty incremental update, and it's an update that I don't think is worth $120 extra. You can get two Venu SQ, the originals, for the price of one SQ2. And look, I don't want to disregard the improvements Garmin has made on the SQ2 because they are really nice. The better screen, the added features. This is a really nice smartwatch, but at $250, I think it's overpriced, especially when you compare it to the SQ. If it were at its original price of $199, then I think this would be a much more enticing purchase. And it's kind of the problem Garmin has throughout their smartwatch lineup. They make very capable watches and have to intentionally handicap them so there are differences between the tiers. Like, could the original SQ show you a sleep score? Yeah, sure, the hardware is there, but Garmin doesn't release a software update to include that feature. Garmin are trying to differentiate the SQ2 versus the SQ through their software. And you see this throughout their product line. The Venu 2, for example, and the Fenix series, a lot of the hardware is the same, but there are software differences. There are software things that they could add to the Venu 2, for example, that some of the Fenix watches have, but they don't do it because they need to make a line in the sand and differentiate one between the other. Those are really forced software differences between the watches, which creates the different tiers. So you have the different lines. You have the premium watches, which are over $1,000. You have the 800 range, 500, 300, 200, so on. So should you get the Garmin Venu SQ2? In my opinion, if you like the way this watch looks with the square watch face, if you like the features that it has, if you're happy with its battery life overall, then I would take a really close look at the SQ because it's less than half the price of the Venu SQ2, and it's a very, very similar watch. If you're spending $250 on a Garmin watch or $299, so there is a music version of this where you can download songs from Spotify so they're directly on the watch so you don't need your phone to listen to music. If you're spending $250 or $299, then you're firmly in the territory of the Garmin Venu 2 or the Forerunner series, and you might want to take a look at those watches instead of the SQ2. The Venu SQ2 would have been the upgrade to get on the original SQ if Garmin didn't also upgrade the price. Thanks very much for watching. That's been my review of the Garmin Venu SQ2. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I'll also leave a link to a video I made which compares a lot of the different Garmin smartwatches. So if you're interested to check that out, I'll leave that linked in the description right next to the like and subscribe buttons, which on your way down, just click and click. It's a big help to the channel. It's free to do. It takes you a second. And I'll have new travel and tech videos coming up for you every week, so you don't want to miss those. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.